Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and today I've got a dozen tools that I'm really happy I bought in 2021, over the past year. These are great tools. Some of them have a little bit of a backstory, so I thought I'd share that for a sec, but overall these are tools that if I lost them I'd get them again, and I got them all within the last year. To start off is this Klein Fan. This particular fan runs USB-C charging, onboard battery, couple of speeds, and big clamp, solid magnet. I use this around the house. I use it camping in the RV. I use it like if there's a spill or water under a sink or something, I'll just turn it on, let it run till the battery dies. Overall, great fan. No hesitation, super durable build, and reasonably priced. Next thing are these IPA kind of diamond flexible file contact cleaners. I saw these originally on CP the Tool Addict's site, and or his channel, and got some, and I end up using them for all kinds of things, little projects, finish work, actually working on things that are just in need of a little bit of sharpening, say on a blade or an axe or something, but not a lot, not enough to use a file, little more than emery cloth or something like that. So I go to these quite often. Glad I got them. This was a recent addition. This is you can see it up there, it's the C.Jet or C.Jet tool. This is an angled electrician's scissors, wire stripper, etc. And the more I use this, the more I really like it. It's great steel, feels good in the hand. The stripper works well, and then the scissors are just top notch. So that's another one that I was pleased that I picked up. Over here we've got PB Swiss drivers, and here's 4 of them. This is the standard. Here's a ratcheting one. Here's just a magnetic bit holder, and this one has bit storage. And as I use all of these, I find that the one that I tend to migrate most towards is this one right here. It's a little short, not very expensive. It's got a very strong magnet, so strong that sometimes it is a little too much because it actually will pick up a lot of things, but it feels great in the hand, super fast to use, excellent finish work on this. Nice, smooth, wonderful tool. So this little PB Swiss bit holder. What I think are the pliers of the decade. These are the Knipex TwinGrips. I started out with this one, used it a bunch, and ended up going with this. This one I really like, with the comfort grip handles. Just makes it a little bit easier for my meaty hand to grab a hold of it. And these things, every time I use them, they perform. I've had no trouble with them whatsoever. I've been surprised at how much they can actually do. But again, if I lost these TwinGrips, I'd just go get another pair. Along that same line, here's the Vampire needle nose pliers with the screw extraction. And a lot of times it's the smaller screws I'm working on. The heads get stripped with little Torx or Phillips or something. Somebody used the wrong driver in it. And these have performed very well. Plus they're a rock solid needle nose plier. So this is an added benefit, but they also perform really well. Nice and silky smooth, great cutting knives, and a nice strong bit, or a bill out here. I mean, if you look at that, that's a good chunk of meat, not super small, angular, and it removes screws. This is the snap-on a zip tie cutting tool or plastic cutting tool, and this thing is just so nice. There are things that come really close, but if I can grab this to use over any of the others, I do. It's just a great tool, little on the pricey side of course, but it does work incredibly well for nipping off zip ties or any little super duper fine work you need. A true flush cut. Not a close to a flush cut, a true flush cut. This is the Milwaukee battery-powered heat gun. This particular guy here, you can see that it's 2688-2 or -20. I've changed a bunch of iPhone screens this past year, and this is great for warming them up. The pros might have a press or something that they put it in, but this is what I use, and it's fairly safe to use. I like the mobility, the battery poweredness. I don't know, haven't had it in the winter yet if it'll to use to unlock frozen doors and things, but I've used it to soften plastic, to mold things. Anyway, that's a good solid tool. It's not obviously as powerful as a plug-in one, but in convenience and simplicity, it makes up for it. Over here is the Klein area light. This guy here, I may have had one the year before. I can't remember. I think I had, but I did get another one last year, or this within the year, so I can count it. But anyway, this is a good solid light. I use it all the time. Snap it to my truck, you know, sometimes outdoors. It makes very quick area lighting. I have several, and I can just clamp them to the metal, you know, or the bed, and immediately have good visibility. You can use it as a phone charger if you want. So it's got a USB output. The light, the battery indicator is helpful. It's got just a couple of settings, and it seems just rock solid. I've dropped them, you know, I've let them roll around the bottom of the car, but haven't had any trouble with it. I did notice that compared to some of the other lights, this is just, it seems to be more handy in the way that you can actually get it to adjust. You know, doing work under the hood, you know, you can probably find something to hang it off of to light the area, or use the magnet if you've got a flat surface, and just flip it around like that. So it has all kinds of different positions, so it's definitely a go-to. This one's been in the, you know, plenty of videos. This is that Fiskars folding utility knife, or Fiskars Pro one, and every time I use it, it just pleases me. So it's a good solid knife, well worth the money, the little bit of money. I think these are now 12 something, 13 bucks. These are the little Knipex Cobras. This is the super small one. This is a great EDC plier. It's a, you know, it's just wonderful. I definitely would like to hang on to it. But it turns out this is the one that I often grab. It's just a good utility size, does a lot of work. This is when you want that absolute minimalism. But if you know you can, you know, carry this thing, this is the one that I often grab. Of course, a larger one if I need a larger one, but I do find for a lot of work that I'll just grab this little thing because it's so handy, especially for, you know, smaller household-sized bolts and nuts. So that's another one that if I lost it, I'd go get another. This is the 8701 125. And then finally is this guy here. I accidentally got this from Snap-on. This is the US 712. I don't know if their website's still messed up. But anyway, I ordered a different knife. This one showed up, and it turns out this is my favorite. Out of all of the 3 Blue Point knives, this is the one that I grabbed for all kinds of jobs. Super thin here. This just the angle geometry of this just is so handy. And if I lost this, I'd order another one. As you can see, it's all beat up. I use this quite often. It's just a great all-around tool. Not super strong, you know, we wouldn't want to, you know, try to pry open a door with it, but it is surprisingly well built, surprisingly strong, and just like I said, that geometry of this blade just seems to come in handy across way more jobs than you'd think. Anyway, so there's my dozen tools that I got in 2021, and every one of these, if I lost it, I'd order another without hesitation. Hope that was helpful. With that, Doc out.